Hey, you're here. You decided to come back? Do I have lipstick on my teeth? Hope not. Well, this week we're going to do something that we've done many times, is watch me make a bunch of mistakes. No, actually, many have commented that they enjoy seeing me experiment with a new product in my videos and make the common mistakes that people would make, because so many times videos are very sterile and they don't show you the errors, and I just say go for it. We never edit them out because I want you to see what could go wrong and what could go right, and at the end of it all it goes right. But this week we are going to work with some more painting of brass, which somebody said on one of my groups this week. Somebody said that someone had gotten upset because they felt they were the first one painting brass on a popular selling site. Well, I've been doing it in videos for like 5 years, and I'm not the first one to do it. There's a lot of artists come before. Gail Crossman Moore did a lot of painting on brass. A lot of other people did. I mean, goodness, back in the day in the 60s, it was all spray painted and then gloss enamel, and that was called cold paint. So there's been a lot of painting of brass over the years. So I just do it my way. So come on over here, because this week I am going to work with a new product by the Viva people, Viva Decor company, called InkaGold. Probably you've seen this in some of your big boxes. I decided to bring it to BC Boutiques at the recommendation of one of my customers, because she said when you mix pigment with it, it becomes awesome. So I thought, well, hey, I'm all for awesome. So I got old gold and old silver, and I have some pigment colors from Primary Elements, which I don't carry at this time, although I do have the 2 InkaGolds, and they're ready for sale on the site. And I have Perfect Pearls and all those other good mica colors that we already use. And I thought I'd play around a little bit and see what happens. So I've got a few here that's done, and I've got a bodacious mess. So come on over here and play with me in my mess. Okay, so these are the pieces that I've already done with the InkaGold and with different pigments mixed into them. And actually, the consistency is a little bit like the Lumiere paint, and I'll show you that in a bit. But as you can see, they're very pearlescent, very pretty. You can go color on top of color. Here's a really good example of color on top of color. I did a white base. It started out kind of like this, distressed. This is just white primer spray paint, front and back. Which whenever I'm doing pastels and stuff, I like to do this, but you really don't have to. I just like to put the primer down first. That's me. And then I got some violet Perfect Pearls in there, and then I got some of the Primary Elements pigment in. This is a pink color, so-called beach glass. And then I use a little bit of this Luminart Meridian Blue. These are a little bit spendy, so I don't know if I'm going to get them or not. Of course, then Pearlex is spendy too, so maybe it is a good idea to bring them in. I'm going to play with them a little bit more, but for sure I like this. For sure I like this stuff. And I'm going to show you. Oh, it dries so quick. Oh my goodness, it dries so quick. I'll show you. But this is what it looks like. It has the consistency of like whipped Gilder's paste. This is actually the silver. Doesn't it look old? It kind of reminds me of the German silver look. But it's called Old Silver. And I've used a good bit of it already, because I really was goofing around a lot with it. I like it. And then this is, the gold color is real strong. And then they have other colors too. So I don't know, maybe I'll just get those. I don't know. I'm just, like I'm saying, I'm playing. But this is kind of a green gold. Okay, and I can show you on some pieces what it looks like by itself. It's messy, but then most paints are. So, you know, hey, you'll have that. So now let's get down to the nitty-gritty mess, okay? I'm going to set these pretty pieces aside that I did. They dry so fast. Oh my goodness. I mean, you just put it on, and I like to rub it in with my fingers, you'll see. And it just, oh my goodness, it just dries so fast. Isn't that pretty pink? So pretty. This I did with the Jetem connector that we carry on the site. This came out so good. Really smooth. I like this piece too, and I'll show you in a little bit what I'm going to do with that. These pieces, this one and this one in particular, are really, really good for making pendants. And if you belong to the Bisou Boutiques creative group, you'll see a lot of the members using these to make pendants. Let me set these up here. You can go this way or this way. Drill here, or this way, up and down. Now, you wouldn't want to use with this piece a real long chain or beading because it'll hang down kind of funny and flop. So I would keep this maybe on an 18-inch or 20 max. So it just kind of was on your chest and not down below because it won't balance right. Maybe if you hung something from the bottom, but it's better that way. And a lot of people take and bend these and put them around cuffs too. They bend real nice. And I'll give you the number on them too if you go too far. This one, the long one, is FIG 07945. FIG 07945. And we have lots of them in stock. In raw brass, we have them in a lot of colors too. We have a lot of them in brass locks. We have them in matte black, which this is matte black right here, distressed. I don't know what else we have them in, but I know we have them in brass locks and matte black for sure. I think we have some in rusty black. The short one is FIG 01061. Okay, so you'll be able to find them on the site. Those are the raw numbers. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to move these out and I'm going to show you the mess I made. Ta-da! Mess. Basically, what you're going to need besides your InkaGold, and like I say, I just have the silver and the gold. You need that, and then you're going to need something for pigment, which you could use Perfect Pearls, you could use Pearl X, both of which we already carry. These primary elements are very, very fine inside, and a little goes a long way. They are extremely intense color. Just a tiny bit is all you need. Same for Pearl X though, really. They really remind me of Pearl X. They're kind of like a mica powder type thing. They're made in the USA. And oh, what I like about the InkaGold colors, they are made in Germany, but they're non-toxic. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's not non-toxic in the case that, you know, you could eat it. Don't do that. But it's, you know, if you get it on your fingers, it shouldn't be a problem. So what you're going to want is you're going to want this and some pigment of some kind. Here's a Perfect Pearl. And then get a little bit of water. I've just got a bottle of water here. And then I got some of these little cups. And it's got a little bit of pink in there. There's no problem with that. And then you get your sander block you use for nails, you know, but this is really good for brass too. And a bunch of brass, which could be primered or not. I like these little spongy brushes because you can throw them out when you're done. And I got some cheap paint brushes, which these can probably be washed out. I've got it all over my hands, but you should have seen how much was on my hands. It came off pretty good. And then get some rags, some little white rags. This is still good to use. And I got some Lysol wipes out. Or you get baby wipes. It'd be easier on your hands probably. Because you're going to make messes, and you can also use it to buff it out a little bit. And then some paper, some napkins and stuff like that. That's what you're going to need. And then a paper plate. This is actually those foam plates. So that would be good. Oh, and then some toothpicks. You might need that. I also tried a little bit of embossing powder over top of some of those pieces and then sprinkling on some Perfect Pearls. And I found out a very interesting thing that you might like to know. I use this for my embossing ink sometimes because I get more than an ink pad. And we carry it at the site. I think we're low on it, but I think we're getting some more. But anyway, Stampendous makes it. You might even have it in your stash. Don't ever take this bottle. You're trying to get it to come up and come out. Don't ever squeeze it down here. because this will come off like the top of a volcano, and it will go squirting thick, clear glurp everywhere. Everything will become sticky, and you will not be a very happy person. This is still sticky. I got most of it off. So, you know, gentle dabbing to get it started if you use it. We're not going to really use it in this video, but I just thought I'd tell you don't ever do that. Okay, let's color something. How did I make this mess? You're going to want to know, because you're going to want to make your own. As you see, I got some toothpicks there, and I'm going to throw these out. We're going to invest some fresh toothpicks for you, our company, who's tuned in today. Now here's the gold and the silver next to each other. What you're going to want to do too, when you use the InkaGold products, don't leave them out on your countertop or on your work surface open for a long time, because they do dry quickly, and my feeling is maybe they would dry out for you. When I put them on the brass, they dried so fast that I thought, don't leave this out for long. So I'm just getting, you know, just a glurp of it. You could take a little spoon if you wanted. I'm just going to put it here. That's what's so great about styrofoam. You can stick stuff in it. And so I'm going to take my top and put it on. I think I've got the right one. And then I'm going to get some over here too. And a little spoon probably be better. I'm sure you've got a better way than me, but like I say, you know, today is the first time I opened this and tried doing anything with it. So, you know, this experiment is really, really raw and fresh. And, you know, anything that you want to add that's constructive, don't hesitate. We love to hear what you have to say, so long as you're nice. Teach me! Okay, now to this, I'm going to add just a little bit of this primary elements. And I want to be careful that I do not add a whole lot. So I'm going to use this plastic knife. That's probably too much. You can always add more, but if you put too much, I'm going to put like that. I mean, probably don't even need that much. You can see how it stays on the plastic. Wipe that off. And then I'm going to take just a little teeny bit of my water. Now it's going to go all over, probably. But what we're going to do is we just see how that just, it makes like, what you're doing is you're making your own paint. And you're mixing this in. And it takes a little mixing. But it's making this beautiful, like, it reminds me very much of the Lumiere Halo Pink. But you know, with that, you've already got it mixed in the bottle and ready to go, and it's pretty inexpensive, so I don't know if you do this over doing that. Yeah, maybe I could use a little bit more pigment. It's just an experiment, you know, that you might like to make. Get another knife. But it has that consistency. I think the thing about it is that you can mix your own color. You really can. And I love the way these apply to the brass. They just dry so quick. Like, for example, I'm going to use what's on here because it's a little bit thick. And I'm going to put it on the back of this piece so that you can see. And I'm going to use my fingers. This will probably be enough to cover most of this. And I'll just set this over here. Okay, so now I'm going to use my fingers. See, look how much coverage I got with that. A lot. But see, this will dry really fast, and then what you can do is say, well, you know, that's a little bit too coppery for me, Bisou, you know, I don't think I like that color so good. Or that's a little thinner. Like, the thing is you can take other colors and go over it. You can mix it differently. You can just keep working it. I've got my spongy brush over here. I might take and do a little bit of that. You can get some texture in there. Kind of a sponge painted effect. And these sponges are really good for getting in cracks, and they're cheap. I get mine wholesale for really, really cheap. A lot of times if you happen to be in a big box store, they have them on sale sometimes. But don't ever pay the regular price because it's ridiculous. Go get your own sponges and cut them up before you pay that. I was in a store here recently. They wanted 60 cents for one of these. That's ridiculous. Don't ever pay that. You should be able to get a whole bundle of them for a few dollars. Okay, but you can see how this covers. Now, this dries so fast that I could take a little bit of my silver, don't worry about that, and go over that. And it's got shimmery effect. It's got mica in it, definitely, just like the Lumiere. But it has a little bit more slick feel to it. If you like working with your fingers, it's a nice product for that. I would not be eating while I'm using this stuff, just because it's non-toxic and all that, but, you know, it's not something that you have to worry a lot about. Now I'm going to do the front. So I have some mixed up over here on this end. Here that's a little bit darker. So I'm going to get some of the pigment in and go on this. There are a lot of pigment powders out there. You might even be able to squirt like a blob of another paint that's out of a bottle into it, maybe some acrylics. I don't know. If you don't get a good result, don't blame me. I haven't tried it. I'm just saying everything I've tried to mix into this stuff so far has worked great. So, you know, don't be afraid of mixing. So I'm going to let this sit and dry because I probably would want to like add a little color. But see, I can even take like my rag and go over this and start distressing it and bring it up what's under that already. But with that primered surface that I did, see, now I have to buff that back out. But I can, see, I can even dip my finger in the water a little bit, smush it around. I can even remove a little bit of that. Go back to kind of a light pink with the white. There's so many possibilities with that. So I've got that for now, okay? Now I've got my other color there, the silver, so I'm going to try a little bit of primary elements in that. And once again, Pearl X should probably work similar. This stuff reminds me a lot of Pearl X, except it's grainier and it's a little bit richer and more intense. I don't know, not a lot though, because Pearl X is pretty intense. Now I'm going to have to move this because it's probably going to run over into that. But on the other hand, it might make a really, really interesting color. This is going to be, I don't care if that purple gets mixed in it. So now I'm going to mush it together. If you don't put any water in it, it's kind of dry. But this is actually working good. Maybe it's just I have a little bit better hand with it now, because I've been playing with it for the last hour or so. So let's just try it like this and see what happens. This is the same thing right here with water added. So it's a little lighter. Let's try working with no water in it and see what happens. So I'm going to use this piece, which it's just got the primer on it. So I'm going to distress it a little bit. I won't hold it over there because then my little paint flakes will go in there. But we've done a lot of this before. You guys know this. You know how to distress things. It's one of these, and these are so cheap. You know, get it at a dollar store. Sometimes you can get a whole bag of them at the dollar store. You know, some things it's worth spending money on. Like, for example, our brass, because you're not going to buy that in a dollar store. But other things that you might use, when you can get them cheap, or use something you already have in your kitchen or whatever, hey, go for it. You should. Save the money there. And this piece is, on the site, we have a lot of them, and it's Fig 01431, Fig 01431. This is really a cool piece because it's a very nice centerpiece. As you can see here, I've got it drilled out on the end and the shoulders. This one's ready for me to do something with it. Okay, so now this one's not drilled, but we're not going to worry about that now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to apply some of this paste that we made to the piece. And I'm just going to start buffing it in. It's got some kind of wax or something in it because the feel of it is very, very waxy. And it dries real quick. You're not going to be waiting long. You're not going to need a heat gun for this. Not needed. But here's where, I like to get in the cracks in the back, and because this is stamping, you have recesses, so you will probably want to take and get a foam brush. And because they're inexpensive, I a lot of times will get a new one, unless I have one with the same color on it. So I'm buffing out the back. Now I've got the front. And I'm buffing that, maybe put a little bit more on it. It really works its way into parts that have a lot of texture or design in them, but where you have the flat surface, you may need to kind of sponge it in, and then see if you mess. That might take a second coat. Let it dry, because it'll come off unless you want it to. Yeah, I think I would just stop messing around with that. Stop messing around with that, Brenda. Doesn't it look great on my fingers? So we may not have a video for you for a little while because somebody's getting married. Next week is her little dinner thing. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing flowers. You know how they are going to be making wooden flowers. And we're doing fresh ones, so it's a little scary. We'll manage. I like to do it ourselves. So anyway, that's what that looked like. So this color with the silver, what's this color called? Luminart Meridian Blue. This is really dark, but with that silver, the old silver, it became kind of a teal. And that's the fun of it, is experimenting with it, And then maybe what I'm going to do is, what I got here? Take some of this and just lightly brush. See, because it dries so fast. Look at that. How that comes on the high places. And it dries almost as soon as you apply it. But if you don't like it, just put a little water on it before it cures. And you'll be good. And you could change this color up so many times. If you're not happy with it, you can use some water, dilute it back, distress it off, whatever you want to do. So I've got a very, very blue back, so I'm going to put a little pink on that. You do have to seal it, okay? When it's dry, I leave it sit for a few hours. 5 or 6 would probably be good. And then take it and do your Krylon spray lacquer. I've tried it already and it works, so I'm going to go with Krylon because, or anything that's a matte spray lacquer. It doesn't have to be Krylon, I just like that brand. Go with that because it works and you'll be fine. Okay, one more thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to do like a leaf. I had some leaves here. Yeah, make them like this pretty gold. This is real simple. Let me get one. And I'm going to distress it. Ooh, what's that? Phone? We forgot to take the phone off. Uh-oh. Well, if it's one of you guys calling, we'll have to call you back. Right, Javi? Okay, I'm going to take the gold first. And I'm just going to kind of go over that. This is real pretty on its own. And it leaves a little bit of the white shining through. And they might left us a message. We'll have to check for the message after. I'll tell Jordan to do that when he gets back. That's his job. He had like 11 phone solicitors call this morning. It was crazy. We're supposed to be on that do not call list, but I think you guys are going to have to check on that and make sure, because we want our customers to call us. That's why we publish our phone number on our website. If you need to call us because you have an issue or you have a question about a product, he's here to help you. But somebody's selling me pens? I know. So now I'm taking the silver, and I'm just putting that on, like highlighting. I have a little bit of silver left here, so I'm just highlighting a little bit, and now I'm going to rub it in, and it just kind of gives it some life and a little bit more sheen. So I like to do both, and of course you can do colors on this. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have discovered about these products so far, except that I think they're going to be wonderful to make jewelry from. Like, for example, let me set this aside now since we've done our coloring. I'm going to set this up here. I just stuck my finger in a big piece of it. I'm not going to try and put anything together with glue here because the stuff hasn't cured yet, but just to give you a feeling for what the possibilities might be. Since I've drilled this one out, is that in view, Javi? Okay, we got these amazing handmade flowers, and these are vintage. They're made in the United States about 40 years ago, and they're just amazing. You can really see the handmade, you see the fingerprints on them even. We just got a new shipment of them, but wouldn't that be pretty in the middle of that? And then you could build it out with some leaves. Like I primered these. I'll turn it this way a little bit so I can see. Just a little bit of leaves. I like to go this way and this way so you have movement. Put a few little pearls in there. You could break one of these up and use some of these sprigs coming out, set them with pearls, and then make a delicate chain and a delicate drop. And it wouldn't take you a long time to make it, and it would probably sell very quickly for you at a show or on your Etsy, because people love this soft, romantic, vintage style. So I hope you would give it a try, and yes, these are on the website. I do not have the SKU numbers for you, but if you go under the ceramic flowers, let me put that back so you can see it. You're going to find we have those, and we have the mini clusters. And then we have, oh, they're calling again. We have this little rose bed that's made by hand and twisted. And then we have some of these little mini white ones. And then we have a few other the vintage open flowers too. We have quite a few ceramic flowers now that are vintage and really, really wonderful. So we'll have them so long as the resource remains available to us. And we hope that you enjoy them. The last time that I had these on the site, they sold out like bingo. Quick. They're not cheap, I'll tell you that much. These ones aren't so expensive, but this one is $6.95 for the cluster, and it's because it's expensive. There's a lot of handwork in there. Imagine if you were to make that yourself, and you were good at it even. You'd still have an hour's work in that. So they're worth it, believe me. And U.S. made too. They're not imports at all. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you today, and I hope that you enjoyed that. I'm going to just let you focus on that because it's so pretty. And let you focus on these pieces we did. I hope you'll give it a try. This leaf, just to give you some numbers, this leaf is, I just saw it. I have this whole thing of stuff here so that I can share the numbers. Okay, this leaf is LF03803. We have gobs of them. This leaf is LF06480. If you want to do one of these big roses, we have a lot of them in stock. The number is FIG06386. And I told you for the rectangles already. So, you know, just come over and have some fun. This was all raw brass to start with, so any raw brass product will work. And I also found out you could also go over our matte black. This is distressed matte black that has some of the InkaGold on it. Here's some too. So, and you will love that matte black. So you can do some funky things with this stuff. So come over and try it. I've got a nice stock of the InkaGold in stock for you to try. And I'm going to keep experimenting and having fun this afternoon while Javi is editing the video so that you'll be able to see it tonight. So thanks for watching, and I hope you had fun playing with me this afternoon. Have a great day.